Hello again. Welcome back to Calculus 1. I am Valle, your subject instructor. Today we're going to discuss solving roots of algebraic equations in preparation for our calculus. So we're going to focus here on solving linear and quadratic as well as some cubic expressions that are easily solved. Okay, so for example, let's just have 2x plus 5 is 7. So this is an example of algebraic expression. So what would be the value of x so that this statement or equation is true? So we're just actually reviewing this. We need transposition. Transposition is the transfer of a numerical or literal coefficients to the other side of the equation by negating its operation. So negating its operation. So as we can see, we have a plus 5 here that is not affecting the x. So we can actually transfer that onto the other side by negating its operation. So if it was plus 5, you can transfer it as minus 5. Then 2x would be 7 minus 5, 2. Then, this is actually multiplication of two numbers, which are 2 and x. X is still a number, but we don't know yet the value. That's why we are looking for it. So, if it is multiplication, when you transfer that into the other side, that would become divide, because here we multiplied. Okay, so that would be 1. Easy, right? Let's try one more. So let's have 3x plus 4 would be x plus 8. Okay, with these two variables on each side of the equation, the other should go to the left side. So this one with x should go to this side, and this one without x should go this side. So let's do that one by one. Let's transfer the x first. So that would be 3x. Then we transfer the x, that would be minus x. And then plus 4 would be equal to 8. So 3x minus x is now, so it's like saying 3 apples minus apple. So that would be 2 apples, correct? Then plus 4 equals 8. As you can see, it's almost the same there. So we transfer this one. Let's use another color. There. So we just negate the operation. We have plus there, so it becomes minus. So 2x is 4. Then again, lastly is this one. Transpose there. So that's multiplication. When you negate, it will become division. That would be 2. Okay? Now we proceed with the quadratic expression. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 8. There are actually two major ways, or three, if I'm not mistaken, major ways to solve this one. We have factoring, if possible. We also have completing the square. And the most famous quadratic formula. Let's try them all. Okay. In the factoring, so let's try 1 factoring. I'll use orange. For the factoring, so you have to factor this original expression. X squared minus 6x plus 8 can be factored out. So this is not under the special factors. This is just ordinary factoring. So how do we factor that? That would be x and x here automatically. Then think of two numbers that the product is 8. So there are only two possible outcomes. That would be 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Okay? Then find their sum if it is equal here. So get the sum, then compare here. So 1 plus 8 is 9, so that's not equal to 6. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. So we're gonna use 2 and 4. Correct? Then just assign the negative, follow the negative. So we have successfully factored our expression. Then we have what we call as the zero factor theorem. Zero factor theorem states that any expression that is equal to 0, it means that all or some of the factors are also equal to 0. So if we can see, there are two factors, x minus and x minus 4. Zero factor theorem will say that x minus 2 can be 0 and x minus 4 can be 0. We learned earlier that we can transpose this, so this would be equal to x 0 plus 2, and this would be x 0 plus 4. X would be 2, and x would be 4. Let's try to compare that later when we successfully get the squares. Okay, let's see. We'll try the completing the square. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 8. In the completing the square, you have to transpose first the constant. So that would be x squared minus 6x, then negative 8. Or we'll include space there. Then we're gonna complete the square. How do we complete the square? Listen carefully. This would be 6. So get the 6. Divide by 2. So that would be 3. Then square. 3 squared is 9. Okay? So we are going to include 9. So we have So we have 9, we have x squared minus 6x, add 9. If you add 9 on one side, you also add 9 on the other side. So this would be factored out. Okay, remember this number? So this would be x minus 3 squared equals 1. Square root of both sides, that would be x minus 3. We all know that the square root of 1 could be positive and negative 1. So transposing, that would be x equals 3 plus and minus 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4, correct? 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay. Let's try to solve it also in quadratic. Let's try that in quadratic. So the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Trivia, this quadratic formula was derived from completing the square. So that's why completing a square is also a possible method. So what are those B, B, A, C, and A? So those are the numerical coefficients here. So numerical coefficient there, there, and there. So this would be A, B, and C. Again, if there is no number prevailing beside the variable, you always assume there is 1. So A is 1, B is negative 6. You have to take the sign, and C is 8. Substitute. So we have X is negative, the negative 6 plus and minus is square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8, okay, all over 2 times 1. Okay, you can solve one by one. Negative, the negative is positive. Then negative 6 squared is 36. Minus 4 times 1 times 8 is 32. All over 2 times 1. Then we have plus and minus square root of 4. Square root of 4 would be 2. So we have to separate 6 plus 2 over 2 and 6 minus 2 over 2. This would become 6 plus 2 is 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4 divided by 2, 2. So these are the same answers that we had a while ago. There are many techniques in solving a algebraic equation. However, these are the most basic and these are what we need in our Calculus 1. Again, that's all for this video. I'll see you next time.